Hello and welcome to the video. I am just walking to find a place to sit down and read, and I think I've decided where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to somewhere where I can never go over the weekend because it's always too busy, but I suspect that on a Wednesday I'll be able to sit down there. So let's go do that. Welcome to the video.
To see through, like a dusty window, what's on the other side?
I love the little lane. A huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, which is Soundcore. I've been using their headphones day in and day out. One thing about me is that I cannot leave my house without having headphones on me. I am very sensitive to sound. I am neurodivergent. I think it goes hand in hand. And so having that buffer between me and the outdoors noise is really important. And what I appreciate so much about these headphones is their noise cancelling and how they provide a constant and stable silence delivered by reactive noise cancellation, which is so helpful when I'm walking the busy city streets of Sydney and when I'm in a cafe and there's too many people. I just pop those in, just softens the world around me, and then I'm able to do the things that I want to do, like read, like write. Sometimes I don't play any music and sometimes I do, and when I do, the quality of sound is incredible. It's studio-like, truly, especially because I've been taking them on my runs, and even throughout the physical activity where I'm huffing and puffing and my heart rate is up, I can still hear the music loud and clear, and it's been very useful, very motivating. I also love the case that it comes in. It is very sleek, a very lovely color. It's so easy to open. I love that it has a touch bar where I can see if my headphones are charged or need charging. And my favorite part is just popping the headphones in, and it immediately connects to my phone, and I can immediately play whatever I need to play or just use it for the noise cancelling effects. So if you're interested in getting your own pair of headphones, if you do so within the next 3 weeks, you can get a free little organizer bag which can hook onto your bag. That's what I've been doing. It just hooks onto my bag, and I know that I will not lose my headphones, so that's very useful. So thank you so much to Soundcore for sponsoring this video. I think that I don't want to sound dramatic, but having headphones, noise cancelling headphones on me at all times has been revolutionary for me. And I think because I got such a late diagnosis and realized I was neurodivergent at 29, I think I suffered a lot throughout daily tasks that other people seem to, do quite easily. And I think with the diagnosis came this gentleness and willingness to allow myself to do the things that I need to do in order to regulate myself and in order to just live a better life. The way that I get through doing my groceries, the way that I get through getting on the train or walking the city is by popping my headphones in, noise cancelling headphones. It just creates this little bubble around me that makes things feel a little bit easier. So that was a little bit of a tangent, but I think what I'm saying is that I think for myself, there are so many things that I find really difficult in life, and I don't allow myself to take the easy option. And it's just like, just take the easy option, you know, whenever you can. Life is hard enough. So I think that having a diagnosis just kind of gave me a really good reason to sometimes be a little bit socially weird, but to also be able to feel more serene throughout my life. Anyway, okay, on to the rest of the video. That got a little bit vulnerable. Yeah. I was listening to an interview with Esther Perel today, which now has inspired me to grab and read the book, which I have read before, but I remember reading, I feel like less intentionally, maybe more in a hurry. And now I've decided to actually sit down and, you know, take my notes, think about it. And there is a lot to think about, and I'm only on page 27. But there's so many things that she said in that interview that really resonated with me. And one thing that I keep on thinking about is how we want to try and learn about relationships once the relationship feels like it's dead, rather than doing so whilst the relationship feels good and alive. I think one thing that was very intriguing to me, and then I ended up journaling about it for like 40 minutes, was this idea that we tend to be in relationship with people whose proclivities match our vulnerabilities, and that it tends to be the case very often that there is one person who is scared of being abandoned by the other, and then there is the other person that fears being abandoned by the self. They fear losing themselves in a relationship. And I knew straight away which person I was, but it was very useful to journal about it and to try and get to the root of why these fears come about. And it's a little bit obvious, but it's not something that, you know, a lot of these things that happen in relationship, we don't think of them as being obvious in the moment once friction is happening in a relationship. I think that it becomes very obvious just when I sit down and write about my childhood or write about my past. And anyway, one of the questions she encourages to ask is, how often do you not say exactly how you feel? How often do you feel resentful when your partner stands their ground? Those can be clues as to what kind of person you are in a relationship. I highlighted in the book, she said, the extent which our childhood relationships nurture or obstruct both sets of needs will determine the vulnerabilities that we bring into our adult relationships, what we most want and what we most fear. We all straddle both needs. Hello. Their intensity and priority fluctuate throughout our lives, and as it happens, we tend to choose partners whose proclivities match our vulnerabilities. Some of us enter intimate bonds with an acute awareness of our need to connect, to be close, not to be alone, not to be abandoned. Others approach relationships with a heightened need for personal space. Our sense of self-preservation inspires vigilance against being devoured. That is all. I think it's time to go home. Okay. I find dating in my 30s very special, and it just feels a lot more serene, less chaotic. And I guess I just wanted to finish this video by saying that, because I know a lot of people fear being single in their 30s or dating later in life. And I can understand that. I will say that I do not want children, so this has never been a stressor for me, which I understand changes things quite drastically. So yeah, it's just been so lovely. And this is obviously because of a few things. The first one being that I just am more clear of what I want, my expectations, my needs, probably better at communicating that as well. Not to say I'm great at communication, but I am definitely better than in my 20s. And also, just after every breakup, I think I was quite proactive about reading books on relationships and listening to podcasts and interviews and journaling and just putting things into perspective and trying to make sense of things. Um, and yeah, it's funny because when I was single for many years, I really thought consistently, I was like, the next person that gets to date me, they'll be so lucky because I am healed and I am evolved and emotionally intelligent. And of course, once you are in such close proximity with another person which has their own set of insecurities, you know, you learn through relationship with other people. So I feel like my insecurities and the issues are quite similar to the ones that I've had in the past. They just manifest in different forms and different magnitudes. And I think that is also just part of, the human experience. We're all just trying to process the traumas and the grief and the loss and all of that whilst still kind of trying to hold some joy and, hope and love for another person. I just feel like I need a lot less validation from my partner. I need a lot less reassurance. I'm not trying to figure myself out, or at least my whole life does not revolve around trying to figure myself out. And I think that maybe in my 20s, that was more of what was happening. And now I just treasure my independence a whole lot more. I used to think that a relationship was two people merging, and now I understand that it's more about two people sharing with each other. And that when you share, you also get to have your own experiences. And that's more of what I want my relationships to be. I don't want any merging to happen. I love having my own space. I love coming back to my own space. I also think that when I was single, I just was really adamant about creating a life that felt full, and felt fun. And it was a little bit difficult because I am not from Australia and I moved on my own, and so that has always been a little bit tricky to navigate, not having a group of friends that have always been my friends. I had to make many friends, but I think maybe that's why I value it a lot more, because I put a lot of effort into making friends and meeting new people. But anyway, so I think a lot of things get so much better when you're older. I mean, I'm at university. Yes, still stressful. And yes, I thought I'd be a little bit more productive and do things on time or before. And no, but there's even though I'm stressed, there's kind of like a calm around it. And I think that just comes with age. It comes with realizing that no one thing is going to define me, like no one relationship and not like one degree and not one job and not one friendship. So yeah, things get better when you're older. And I would say that dating when you're older can also get better. It feels a lot nicer to me. And I think it just has nothing to do, I mean, it has a lot to do with the partner that I have right now, but I've had really special partners. So I think it's just like the state of mind that I was in, feeling like everything did define me. So yeah, that is all. I hope you're having a lovely week, and thank you so much for watching this video. And I'd love to know some of your realizations about love and partnerships and relationships. Yeah, and I'll see you very soon. A huge hug. Ciao, ciao.